All right, we're having a question right here on the board. And the question is talking about partial variation. And in partial variation, like we said, in partial variation is a variation that have two constants, unlike other variations. But you will need to have the knowledge of what we call a direct variation here. Partial variation has two constants. As you can see right here on the board, we have arrow is partly constant. That is, arrow is having a relationship with, just like we are saying, arrow is just, we write it in a constant. Normally actually, it's like, I don't know, like when we have, say, arrow is partly constant, this is what we are talking about. Arrow is what? I can use my constant here in this case as what? As p. Let me use my constant here as p, my first constant as p. Then we're now told that it's partly constant and partly what? Varies with e. When we say arrow is constant, this is exactly what I've said. Then when we now say it varies with what? E. Meaning it's directly what? It directly varies with what? E. See our relationship for when arrow is directly varies with e. You know, to write the formula here, it's not going to be what? To a what? E. Can you see that? If it is direct variation, that's why I've said before that variation, this partial variation, you need the knowledge of direct what? Variation. Which are the key variation you need to know. Direct and what? Inverse variation. But let's go as we have this on the board. We have that arrow is partly constant and also what? Partly varies. When we read that partly varies there, as you can see there, it's what? Directly composed. It's constant and it's also what? Directly what? Varies. So we now have another constant here, which is k. This is the expression that connects arrow and what? E. Knowing fully well in this case, we're now having what? P as a constant and K as what? A constant. This is how it is done. If you can memorize this, you are good to go. The relationship, arrow. This is the first thing you need to bring out first. Then what goes thereafter now is representing the question that is given to us. Let's analyze it based on the information we have gotten. The relationship we have already gotten. Now let's go. Arrow, when arrow is 530, then we now have what? P plus what? Our K is unknown at this time. So we now have 1,600 what? K. I hope you understand. It's like we are saying K times what? 1,600. Then we are not told that when arrow is 730, then what is our E? Remember, P is also a constant there. Then our E is what? 3,600 K. That is 3,600 times what? K, as you can see by the representation of the relationship we have got in there. Then the next thing is to solve simultaneously. We are going to call this one equation 1. Why this one is called equation what? 2. We can solve by elimination here because we have easily, you can solve by any method, but you can solve easily by elimination because the coefficient of P in both equations is what? The same. So we can subtract directly. So we are going to solve, eliminate by what? Subtraction. Let's eliminate by what? Subtraction. So we are going to subtract. So when you subtract this from this, remember, it's going to be minus 200. You are saying 530 minus what? 730. What? Minus 200. Here will be 0. P will be 0. P minus P is 0. We have eliminated P. Here will now be what? Minus what? Minus what? 2,000. Minus 2,000 K. Now the next thing we are going to have is minus 200 equal to what? Minus 2,000 K. By our simple equation, we divide both sides by what? Minus 2,000. So cancel this. Minus is plus. So our K automatically from what we are seeing here, 0 cancel 0, 3 here 1, 3 here. So now our K is equal to what? 1 over what? 1 over 10. So we are getting a constant K. Constant K. So the next thing we want to talk about here is to get the other constant. We can get it from any other equation if you choose. Just the way we solve our normal simple equation. Sorry, simultaneous equation. So what we are going to do is that I will substitute k in any of the equation, but I'm choosing equation 1. So I'm going to have 530 equal to what? P plus, what's our k? Is what we are looking for. 1 over what? 10 times 1,600. So in the place of k now, I'm now using what? 1 over what? 1 over 10. 0 cancel 0. So what I now have is 530 equal to what? P. P plus 160. So then we go further. Our P is now what? 530 minus 160. You know it will cross the volume distance, so the sign will change. Simple equation also. So what do we have? P is equal to what now? 3 what? 370. So we are getting our P as 370. Now the next thing, we are getting our two constants now. So we say we should find the relationship in our first question. Find the formula which connects arrow and what? E. We have already gotten our two constants. So we are going to say arrow is equal to 370. See the formula that connects it to. So we are going to replace our values of our constant. 370. Then our k is what? 1 over 10 e. That is times e. So what this one simply stands for is arrow equal to what? 370 plus e over what? E over 10. So this is the relationship, the formula that connects arrow and what? E. Then the next question they asked in B, they said find arrow where E is what? Where E is 1,300. So we have already formed the relationship like this. So now 370 plus what? 1,300 over what? 10. Because this is the relationship we are using now. Can you see that? This is the relationship we are using. 0 cancel 0. So we now have our arrow is equal to what? 370 plus what? 130. Our arrow becomes what? 500. So you can see it's very simple. If you have learned anything from this video, make sure you follow. I want to see you in my next video. Make sure you make your comments. Anything that you feel like you need clarification, I want to see your comment in the comment section. See you there.